Knowing who you are helps you align with who you need.
Yeah.
That is my own quote.
Really?
I came up with that. Isn't that
Hashtag
good?
Joe quotes. Yo, yo, yo. What's up? Welcome to episode 10 of the Not So Late Show with Josh and Joanna. I'm here. She's still on her phone. What's up?
I'm placing a DoorDash order.
Just getting it in, huh? All right, guys. What's up? Wednesday evening, May 27th. 6 p.m. here Eastern time. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Coming to you live on the Not So Late Show. And yeah.
Welcome, guys.
Yeah. How's your week?
Wow. It's been kind of wild.
Yeah?
Kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I feel a little bit scattered, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
To kind of just take a minute and hang out with you for an hour.
What's making you feel scattered?
We lost Monday, I think.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So then Tuesday turned into Monday, and then I realized, oh crap, I'm 24 hours behind.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that's part of it.
Sometimes even a holiday week is awesome, but shoving everything in the 4 days makes it a little tough as well.
Yes. What do you got here?
I got a little, I'll show you in a second, but cheers.
Oh, okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Baby.
10 episodes.
Aw.
Oh, we did it, babe.
We made it.
10 episodes.
10, now we're done. No.
So this, a little Vina Robles.
That's delicious.
Cabernet Sauvignon from the Paso Robles region. Do you know which wine made, so Paso Robles is actually south of Napa, Sonoma, like south of San Francisco too, kind of like middle California. Do you know what wine made Paso Robles kind of famous, put it on the map? It's a famous, it's a popular one you drink a lot of.
Don't say it. It's okay, so I don't know. Joel Gott?
J-Lore, close.
J-Lore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's famous
that's a
Paso
great one.
Robles blend, but really nice, lots of dark fruit, so you get a lot of blueberry.
Yeah, so smooth.
Yeah, blackberry, yeah.
Deep, big tannins. Now you're talking, people.
Yeah, you get a little mocha.
Mocha? What's going on with me?
You know, like a little cocoa. Cocoa powder on the nose.
That's delicious.
Yeah,
You can open up that every week if you want.
nice. All right, guys.
Got my DoorDash, so
We good?
We're good.
Okay,
so
we're good to do a show.
Everybody's gonna eat when we're done.
All right. Well, tell me about your week last week. What were some of the highlights of your week?
Well, do I get to start?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, Memorial Day weekend was really fun.
Yeah.
I got invited over to visit my sister and her husband and her 3 kids in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yep.
And I know, people, I'm the oldest of 4 siblings. I know it's hard for everyone to believe, but I am. And yeah, we drove out there on Saturday and then spent Saturday, Sunday, and then left on Monday. They live on an amazing property, just has really, it's a lakefront property, and I've never been so into lakes in my whole life. I think you even did I think you took the drone.
I did.
Had fun with the drone.
I took the drone and had some fun drone footage. I'll put that up here. I actually had a little music to it, but I pulled it off because I didn't want any copyright infringements. But
well, I hope my sister's okay with us just kind of like showing off her fun property. I'm
Yeah.
sure they're fine. I mean, it's just incredible for families and kids, honestly. The fishing, the kayaking, the pool. I mean, I don't know. I felt like we were on a little bit of a mini vacation.
yeah, for sure. It was fun.
We just set our phones down and...
Great property. What were some of your highlights from those couple days?
Well, Caden had a blast fishing.
Yeah.
He caught 7 bass.
Yeah.
So he is so happy because he fishes with my dad, his grandpa here pretty often, and they've been struggling with just really catching anything. And so he caught all kinds of big bass. They had catfish out there, and then they had, is it cropper? Crappie, sorry.
Yeah.
I keep saying cropper. He caught a crappie with me, which looks like a bigger version of a bluegill.
Yeah. Spiky fins.
Yeah, but like kind of spotted on the bottom. They're really beautiful fish. So
yeah, one of the bass with his first one. So
Dude, that's almost as big as the one you just got.
yeah, for sure.
that's a good sized fish. That's fun.
Oh yeah, it's impressive for sure.
Let's see, more highlights. Oh, he really likes to throw that line wide, so you have to stay clear of him a little bit. And I think I don't know if you have a clip of this, but he caught one in a tree.
Oh, I thought that was you.
Because he gave it to me and I was trying to help him get it out.
Oh, are you sure? I thought that was you.
Yes, I did not do that. That's why you took a video, because you thought it was me.
I did. Yeah, I was coming up on you guys, and I Seth was up in the tree trying to like get it down.
Yeah, his uncle climbs up into the tree to get the fishing line unhooked out of a branch. That's true love, right?
Yeah.
Gosh.
So lots of fun times.
My last highlight was kayaking with my sister. So, do you know what I want for? Did you play it already?
No.
Do you know what I want for Christmas?
What do you want?
A kayak.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go kayaking wherever and whenever I want.
Yeah. Where would you go? Because we don't live on a lake, so.
Ohio has like lakes.
Okay.
And places I can go.
So you would just like every weekend mount it up on the car.
I could
drive
kayak
somewhere.
Yeah, I need a mount. Yep. We might need two because I'm gonna want to go with a friend.
Okay.
You can kayak on Hoover Dam. There's all kinds of places.
Get like the double
Allen
kayak.
Creek.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Big more.
So
yeah.
what's-
So, anyways, my clip with
Is this you and your sisters?
my sisters. Yeah, I asked them if they wanted to go kayaking with me. They got into a double kayak. I was in a single. And I'm sorry, I'm laughing in the video, but they got stuck in a tree just trying to launch off of the dock. And then my sister, one of my sisters then proceeded to,
Can't hold it.
her husband was telling her to pedal backwards, because this is a pedal one. And then my other sister is like
Opposite forward. No, not
motioning in this backward direction. You go backwards like this.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, it was so funny if you were there.
Yeah.
Like, it was insanely funny.
Yeah. It was a good time. So that was the majority of the weekend. Also, highlight from last week, school's out. So, and all the things are done.
All the e-learning.
No more.
All the moms and dads out there.
Yeah. So now we just have free time all day with the kids, for sure.
That's great.
No, but Caden graduated 8th grade as well.
Yeah.
So got a shot at him outside. You got a little sign from New Albany School District saying congratulations.
Yeah, I have to say, New Albany, you have your stuff together. I just appreciate just the consideration for families and how you've really tried to rally and make this fun for all the kids, and all of that. Senior clap outs, signs, things you can pick up and just kind of still add in some fun for the kids and still celebrate. So they've done a really good job.
For sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
What's next?
Well, let's shift to what we're watching, reading, or listening to. And I'm super excited to hear about this Hypemaster Playbook. What is that?
Yeah, one of the things, I actually just picked this up maybe 2 days ago, but the Hypemaster Playbook by SixFigureSneakerhead is a sneaker reselling guide. I actually found this guy online because here's what's interesting. I think we've talked about this before. Is Caden's kind of buying shoes, flipping shoes, kind of doing that thing. So we're on to our second pair. It actually just showed up yesterday, so we bought these.
Very exciting.
These are Jordan 1s, Jordan 1 Retro Royal Toe edition.
Those are really cool.
Yeah, they actually are pretty sweet with the blue laces if you want to put them in. So he bought these for $170, and then so we got them yesterday, put them up, and sold them for $262 this morning.
Stop it.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that's fun.
Wow.
So part of it is knowing like what's going to resell, and then you have to like kind of see what's coming down the line that's being released, and then
That's really great.
The resale sites as well.
Profit margins for a kid like that.
Yeah, I mean,
His age.
you've got a little bit of like processing and all that, so I think he's
Yeah.
gonna make like $50 probably total.
That's
on
his best
that.
so far, right?
Yeah, we did another one. He made about $30. So I've got him. He taught him how to build out a Google Sheets, just with all the like, okay, purchase for this. Here's shipping.
Yeah.
Here's the credit card it was bought on. Here's what I sold it for. Here's the processing fees. Here's the profit. So it's a big spreadsheet. Just So
Yeah. We were having a conversation a couple weeks ago about how that was all going to play out financially.
Yeah.
All those transactions
Yeah.
and shifting money around.
So it's fun. The most challenging part is Nike releases all their sneakers through an app called Sneakers, SNKRS. They don't do it through Nike.com. Like all the just whatever mainstream shoes come through Nike.com, but all the like limited edition releases come through Sneakers.
Oh, interesting.
So they tell you when they're gonna
Sorry.
drop. Like
Does Nike own the sneakers app?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they tell you when they're gonna drop. There's a whole schedule. You have 10 minutes to get on and buy them, and even then you don't get them always. So it doesn't like guarantee you a sale. They basically do a raffle for 10 minutes. You put in your information, and then if they choose you, you bought the shoes. So it's worked a couple times, but there's been quite a few we've tried and just don't get them. So
What do you think?
well, I mean, if it's like a real rare shoe, I think there's a lot of bots out there just like entering in just thousands of entrants into it. So we're trying to figure that out, which is coming all the way back to the Hypemaster Playbook and why I got that for him. It's like a 300-page book on how to resell shoes.
He actually told me this morning, because you got it in an ebook form,
Yeah.
which is very smart. And
Yeah.
I think it's smart. Although now I can't tell if he's playing a game on his phone or reading an ebook.
That's true. I
It's
know.
the only thing I don't like is him staring at a blue light device,
Yeah. Yeah.
more. But anyways, he seemed excited about the book, and then he was already learning stuff.
Yeah, so it's a good business
That's good.
education for sure. But what's also interesting is ever since The Last Dance aired, the Michael Jordan documentary, Jordans have actually gone up in value as well. So
Oh, okay.
that's kind of what's
I can
happening
see
too.
that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like rekindling everyone's love for him and awareness.
Yeah, for sure. So
That's awesome.
cool. What about you? What are you into the last week?
Well, on our drive I've had this book for actually quite a while, and I'm reading Lean In by Sheryl Sandburg, which probably every woman on the face of the earth has already read or needs to. I'm behind. She published this in 2013, but she's really become a leading voice in just important conversations centered around equality with women, among women, and in her book discusses how really the equality movement has stalled and how we really need to get the conversations going again in the right direction.
And she's a COO at Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless that's changed since she's written this book, but I believe she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes all of this even more fascinating.
Yeah.
I wanted to read, highlight one aspect so far, and I'm really just into the book, 40 pages or so. But she and I quote Sheryl Sandberg. She says, "Ambitious is a dirty word among women still today. She is very ambitious is not a compliment in our culture. Aggressive and hard-charging women violate unwritten rules about social conduct." I don't know. So I think the conversation becomes a question for me. So if you're raised in a home or society or culture where the woman is expected to stay at home, be the mom at home, raise a family, not work outside of the home, then how does that play out for her long term? Does she spend the rest of her life feeling unfulfilled? Does she begin to become bitter and full of resentment? Because she's literally doing something that she feels pressure from, let's say, her upbringing or her childhood or just societal norms and the voices that she's been raised with, or even cultural norms and standards today, just depending on where your circle is, those voices can really, really be stronger. They can be moms and dads and grandparents and aunts and uncles, and even, just what are your peers doing? If they're all stay-at-home moms, then being an ambitious woman is almost like a dirty thing.
Yeah.
So I personally am excited to just get into this book, and
You love that word, ambition.
I do. I have quite a few friends that actually love that word.
Yeah.
And I think I felt personally, I guess I identify with what she's saying. Growing up, I never thought that I could be ambitious and that it would be okay. That all of those roles, or that word in and of itself, is just reserved for a man.
Yeah.
What do you think about the word ambition?
No, I love it. And I think it's up for grabs equally to anybody, for sure. And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean ambition doesn't equal greed. Ambition doesn't equal like abuse.
No.
It just is like the way you're made. So you want to accomplish. You want to like get things done. You want to be productive. You want to lead.
You want to soar.
Soar.
Yeah. Are you ambitious?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Well, so am I.
Yeah.
Perfect duo.
Perfect duo.
I actually, for years, I felt like I couldn't actually articulate or say, even in our relationship and just with how I was raised, that I'm like, what if I'm as ambitious as you?
Right.
So I think I've come to terms with that I am. And so that may or may not play out differently for you and for me.
So like a recent process?
I would say in the last, for sure, few years, I've really gotten liberated to be okay with specific adjectives and words that just, I feel, define me really closely.
Yeah. Was there something in particular that kind of awakened that in you, or just kind of an evolution?
Probably an evolution.
Yeah.
Learning when I'm, putting my feet in the water and figuring out what I'm capable of, going for it, build your confidence along the way. And then I think you gain momentum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Momentum is an awesome fuel to ambition. So, probably an evolution. That was unscripted. I didn't know you were going to ask that.
Good stuff. All right. Lean in. Sheryl Sandburg.
Lean in, people.
Yeah. All right, guys. Currently, as things are beginning to open back up here slowly but surely, gosh, it seemed like Memorial Day weekend was just, everybody was out, just pure Americana. Consumer confidence is just at an all-time high. It seems like everybody's wanting to get out, go to a restaurant, buy something, be with people. So our restaurants here actually opened up last week. Actually last Thursday, and you and I got out for a chance to go to dinner last Thursday night. We took a little night out to go to Smith & Walensky's, grab some steak and fries.
That was lovely.
I'm not sure steak and fries ever tasted that good.
I know. It was awesome. They were so great there.
Yeah.
All the staff is great. Smith & Walensky's at Easton, Columbus, Ohio. Great spot if you are traveling through sometime.
And gyms are opening back up. I actually did a CrossFit session yesterday, which was awesome.
You know what? From the bottom of my heart, I'm happy for you.
You are. You're a little salty about it.
Orange Theory, come on.
Why didn't they open yet?
Orange Theory is opening June 1st, and I work all day, so I have to wait till June 2nd. And they opened up booking for all their classes. So I have my next 2 weeks booked out, but I have to wait another week, and it's agony at this point.
Yeah. Why don't you go Monday after work? Like, just do a later session. Like, blow the funk off. Go to Orange Theory.
I should.
Yeah.
I don't know. Children.
I don't know. Children. Yeah. So.
I'm an early morning workout. Well, were you sore today from that?
I'm a little bit, yeah, for sure.
You feel it?
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's the best.
All up here in my back and shoulders for sure. Yeah, I slept. Actually, my alarm went off this morning. Just think that was the only time I woke up all night just in shock, like, oh, the alarm's going off. So
see, it helped you sleep well.
Yeah, no, it did.
That's
for sure.
So cool.
Yeah, just wore me out. So yeah, any of you guys out there, let me put down in the comments, like, have you eaten out? Like, where have you eaten out? Have you gone to a gym? Like, what gym are you going to? If you've been out yet, partaking of the social activities, we want to hear it. So throw that down in the comments.
We're all slowly figuring out what new normal is going to look like. So.
Yeah. So Sarah Ritchie's on, John Gigante's on, Penny Reed, Rick Poplis is on.
Uncle Rick! Oh my gosh, my uncle.
Derek Perez is on. I'm talking to you tomorrow night, Derek. So
that's awesome. Well, last Thursday, you and I were on a podcast with Mike Kim.
Yep.
Who is a marketing expert, and really his background is in personal branding and also copywriting. We got to know Mike last year, well, actually a couple of years ago, or I don't know, beginning of last year. I started let me start over. I've been following Mike for a couple years. You and I both have been interacting with his content, consuming as much as possible. He really just stuck out to us as far as marketing in the podcast world. So he came to Columbus, Ohio, did a content session with us, spoke to our team at our annual event last November.
Yep.
It was so great to just get to know him better and his story. So this past Thursday, I did my very first podcast with you.
I know.
Yes.
It's awesome.
It was great.
You did great.
Thank you.
How'd you feel about it? How'd you feel before it started?
I wasn't, I was nervous. I wasn't freaking out. I very much prepared because I want to ace every test.
Yeah.
I'm my type A brain is just prepared. We had sent him some questions that could be just good to interact with on the podcast, and he used a couple.
Yeah.
So I had prepared for a lot more. So I kind of had to do some riffing.
Which doesn't always make you the most comfortable.
No, it doesn't. It depends on the topic, but that is...
Why is that? Do you feel like you're gonna say something like that's not smart, or just not have something to say?
I can't possibly say something that's not
Well, I know.
smart.
So that's why I'm just talk.
Probably, honestly, you probably hit the nail on the head. I think that I like to really, especially when it's in the professional lane, collect my thoughts and make sure that everything sounds very articulate and that there's a flow and that I have my key words, like I've chosen what they are.
Yeah.
So yes. It's probably, I'm micromanaging myself.
Yeah. Well, part of it is it's you, it's your world. It's just talk about it, you're not going to say anything dumb or unintelligent. So, it's a lot of that process. And I'm not saying that you specifically, but a lot of the process of speaking, whether it's a podcast, a webinar, on stage, consulting, is trusting what's in you to come out. So that even in the spur of the moment, somebody's like, what about this? You're like, here's what I believe, Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, has that always come easy to you? Because you have been communicating for years and years.
Yeah, no, and there's definitely if I'm going to be on stage for a speech, I'm going to prep for it for sure. That's a little bit more of a produced piece that I'm going to make sure flows right, sounds right, timing, rhythm, all that. But yeah, podcasts and I think consulting anymore. I used to go into consulting meetings just way over prepared.
Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah, just pages of notes, and then you walk in and the client's like, "Hey, I want to talk about this," and you realize
you have to pivot.
Yeah, that's not in your notes at all, and you spend the whole meeting talking about this because that's what's relevant to them. Yeah. So you kind of just have to go in and go, "Hey, I have my 3 or 4 things, but how can I help you?" And then just be able to add value around the conversation.
Yeah.
So. Well,
practice makes better.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So
progression
I think a lot of it is
makes better.
Definitely.
So, but you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was fun. No, it was. And we'll let you guys know when that airs. But one thing he mentioned on the podcast was this concept of a visionary being either a multiplier or a simplifier.
Yeah.
And I know that you and I, we kind of just wrapped up 2 weeks of inspiring vision and talking about what that means in your personal life, business, family. And so we thought it could be cool to kind of take the conversation a little bit deeper. And really the concept comes from a well-known author, Dan Sullivan, who has built a whole community around
the strategic coach.
The strategic coach. It's a community of consultants that work with helping entrepreneurs achieve greater levels of, clarity and success in what they do. So I don't know. Yeah. Let's talk about the differences between.
Yeah. Well, this was the first time I had actually heard this. And, but when Mike said it immediately, I was like, oh yeah, that's brilliant. It's like you can be, because the last couple of weeks we talked about visionary versus integrator a little bit and kind of how those work. But you and I kind of decided we both have are very visionary in nature.
Yeah.
But we're very different. And when Mike threw this out, I was like, that's why. Mm-hmm. So
it took it a little deeper.
Yeah.
It gave us
Because immediately I'm like, I am a simplifier. 100%. Mm-hmm. Like that is my role in life, is to make things simple.
Yeah.
So, and your role in life is to multiply things. Like that's what energizes you. Expansion.
Execution.
Yeah.
Take over the world.
Right. So we can both be visionary, but that is like how we are different. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this because I feel that you and I even have still more discovery to do. This whole lane with Dan Sullivan and the strategic coach is even, this is my first shot at understanding all of his philosophy. So, well, let's see where I am here. Are people watching us?
Oh yeah. No, it's live. People are watching you. You know this.
I thought you were gonna jab me or tickle me, and I was like, don't do that. Okay.
Nope.
So what's the why behind this discussion? So this conversation really applies to business partnerships, business entrepreneurial opportunities. And honestly, you can apply this principle to whoever you are producing with. So this could be, or whoever you're producing or creating with in life. This could be a friend, a partner, a spouse. So you can take these things. It doesn't just have to be the framework for how you function in a business setting.
Okay.
But once you find out which category you fall into, the key is that you will know who your greatest collaborators are. So discover who you are, and then you find out who your greatest collaborators are.
Which is your opposite.
Your opposite.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, every multiplier needs a simplifier,
yes.
and every simplifier needs a multiplier.
Completely. But why?
Because it completes them.
Yes.
Because it leads to unprecedented breakthroughs and results.
It gives you the freedom to focus on what you do best.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, for sure.
Completely.
No, this is a really interesting conversation because my business partner, Joe, and I are both simplifiers. Oh. 100%. So you come work for us, I think it's a pretty simple, straightforward, we're pretty decent at communication, pretty simple expectations, pretty simple.
That's funny. You
structures.
Both are. I was trying to think about what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Mm-hmm. But that's why we needed you to come around because we needed somebody that can go yeah. Figure that out later, but I'm just going to multiply things and make it happen. Yeah. So that's where that's been awesome.
Yeah. So I'm more complimentary than I realized.
Yeah, 100%.
That's great.
So.
Well, okay. So knowing who you are helps you align with who you need.
Yeah.
That is my own quote.
Really?
I came up with that. Isn't that
Hashtag
good?
Joe quotes. That's going to be the new graphic for the show. Hashtag Joe quotes.
So Dan talks a lot about how life is just full of complexity. Complex situations, circumstances, complex people. And so he talks about the need for discovering if you're a simplifier or multiplier. Do you simplify problems or do you exponentially multiply others' innovations?
Yeah.
You also, once you have discovered who you are, either or, you'll be able to see why there are tensions in some business partnerships, right? When one person or the other hasn't fully committed to their capability. So if you're doing 100% of your capability, but you aren't sure that the individual you're collaborating with will do their 100%, that's a problem.
Where does the tension come from? Because if an ideal fit is the opposite, like a multiplier and a simplifier coming together, then the tension must be in a simplifier and a simplifier working together, or a multiplier and a multiplier.
Yes, or a simplifier trying to be 70% simplifier, 30% multiplier, and not fully engaging in 100% of who they are, which is 100% simplifier.
Okay.
That's his philosophy.
Okay. Actually, the way I think I see a lot of tension is if you have a simplifier that resents the multiplier for wanting to multiply things and not understanding.
Sure. Right,
A multiplier that just wants to be like, let's just go do these things. And the simplifier is always like, wait, time out.
Yeah.
Let's organize this. Let's figure it out.
Or they overanalyze what their opposite collaborator is doing.
Yeah.
They think they can do it better, but it's not their lane.
Yeah.
So really valuing, your collaborator and who they are, the fact that they're the opposite of you.
Right.
And that they're going to be better at doing what they're doing than you will.
Yeah.
So I think that the tension can be there.
No, I think that's really great. And a lot of it's probably driven by insecurity. Like if you're a simplifier but you're insecure, then you're going to feel threatened by a multiplier. And same thing. Oh, is that what's coming up next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was just, you can jump into that.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Jobs.
Yeah, I'll say a great example. Just kind of, if you look at Apple, Steve Jobs was a multiplier for sure, and Wozniak was the simplifier. So go past Wozniak, Johnny Ive is the simplifier. So he's taking Jobs' vision and creating an elegant piece of like technology, like simplifying it.
Right.
Right here. So everything goes in a box, and it's very structured.
Yeah.
But it's a huge vision, right? It's multiplication. So.
Well, and it's super intriguing to watch, like, I don't know, not power couples, but power partners, dynamic duos that are so complementary to one another succeed and really just, take things to another level. So let's go through what a simplifier is and then what a multiplier is. And honestly, you're watching, just process this information and
put it down in the notes, like in the comments. Are you a multiplier or a simplifier?
Like you might
even
know
now,
right away.
Yeah, you don't have to wait and listen.
Yeah.
But like if it's just hearing us talk about it, are you a multiplier or are you a simplifier?
Right.
Like stick it down in the comments. Would love to see who wins. How many do we have the most of?
Oh goodness. Well.
Oh, it's not a competition.
No.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
He even talks about how you
Go simplifiers.
Okay, Enneagram 3. Yeah. compete. Okay. So, simplifier bio. Simplifiers make the complicated clear. Mm-hmm. They have a well-developed and a systematic way of thinking about anything complicated and confusing, and it starts off with asking the question, where's the center of this complicated issue or opportunity? Once you find it, you can ignore everything else.
Yeah.
Do you identify with that?
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just yesterday we were doing a Zoom call with the team and we're all getting back together next Monday.
Yeah.
Right, June 1st. And so you have been awesome leading, like spearheading and leading the whole like going back to work and safety and what that's going to look like and all that. And so you go through like all your stuff, which was amazing. And I get through.
Are you going to say something?
No. And I get to the end of it and I'm like, so look, basically it's three things. Boom, boom, boom. Because that's like how my head works. I'm like, social distance, wear masks if you want, hand sanitize. The rest of it, you can ignore it. Like that was 80% of it right there.
False.
But that's how I think. Like
That's great.
So yeah.
You cannot do that.
Well, but I was creating clarity for them. Like here's the main stuff, but that's how I work.
What's interesting is then we had other team members reach out and say thank you for taking, safety protocols seriously.
Yeah, because
it made them feel comfortable coming back.
My simplification doesn't devalue it. It's just my way of going. Here's like the cliff notes of it, right?
Sure,
like here's like the summary of it.
But the detail helps a multiplier mind.
Yeah.
It gains their trust.
Yeah.
So I think that,
I can see that.
There's space for both.
Yeah.
This whole conversation is a collaboration. It's not a competition.
Yeah. I love this next one though. Can I read it?
Complicated? Go for it. Do it.
No, I'm sorry.
You read it.
You can do it. A complicated and confusing situation is complicated and confusing to everyone. It's usually something new and no one's prepared for it. So it's like, this is that classic rule of as a leader, if it's not clear to you, it's not clear to everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? So that, I think, I don't know, somehow along my journey, I've developed a bias for that. Like if I'm not crystal clear on it, I can't lead it and I have trouble communicating it. And you guys know that with me. There's sometimes I'm like, that's cool, go. I need a minute to like I'll say it's like I need to wrap my head around that.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually he just stops motion until there's movement. Sorry. You stop movement. Like we stop until the clarity is there.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that that's negative. I think that clarity is everything.
Yeah.
And as a visionary, I think you have to have it and know, is this the right direction?
Yeah.
Are we zeroing in on the right thing?
Right.
But I do notice that very much about you.
Well, like it's been interesting since all this happened, but really the last 6 months is because the people I work with closely on the team, there's two of them, and they're both multipliers. And so I sometimes feel like things are like 5 steps ahead of me, and I'm kind of like, yo, just need a second. Like, can I have 2 days?
We're multiplying your vision.
Right. Can I have 2 days to get my head around this? Now, the benefit is once I do, and I'm like, oh, this is crystal clear. Now I can communicate it to a wider team and get buy-in, and then that creates exponential, like that speeds everything up a ton. Right. Like now it's not 2 people running with it, it's like 15 people running with it.
Right.
So. Yeah,
completely.
Sorry. I get a little passionate about this.
No, I love it. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you identify with Simplifier. Sometimes there are 10 factors to every complicated, situation. A simplifier will determine if it can be enormously simplified by figuring out which one of the 10 factors we should focus on first. And then the 9 of them can be ignored. Yeah. And then once you're clear about where the center is, you know where to start. And so does the team. And that simplifies everything. Yeah. So it's,
Yeah, no, I think that's true. I'm really, if I can say this in just a way where it's like, just because I know myself and level of self-awareness, I think I'm really good at looking at the 10 things and going, okay, here's the most important one. So like, okay, put that out first. And then here's going to be the second most important. And then here's the third, and almost stacking them up in an order, and then create a strategic plan to like get through those. And sometimes it's funny, the team actually, they'll joke with me about putting things in boxes.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah. And so I have this habit of drawing. We have glass that we can draw on in the office and erase. And I have a habit of boxing like everything and getting up and drawing diagrams. And I'm like, hold on. We're in the middle of something. And I get up and start drawing. And everybody's like, they joke with me that it needs to get in its box. But it's this right here. Yeah. It's simplifying and go, I know we just talked about 28 different things, but we're going to chunk it out, and it's really these 3 things right here, and this is how it progresses, and here's how we're going to move from one to the other. And it's
really effective, especially when you're breaking down or talking about quarterly goals with the team. Yeah. Instead of, everyone taking on 100 goals or new projects in a quarter, you're really good at just spreading them out and determining which project plays on the other, and so building momentum along the way, and making sure that the right ones come first, and are prioritized first. Yeah, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, we actually have this. We meet quarterly and we do a goal meeting, and one of the things is like really making sure nobody has more than 1, maybe 2 goals for a 90-day period of time, and just the concept of like if we do if everybody has 1 or 2 every quarter, that's a massive amount of work that gets done. But making things line up and going like, hey, this quarter there's a lot going on, and I'm real happy with this. So like that's a great idea. We're going to put that in the 3rd quarter, or we're going to actually throw that into the 4th quarter list and address it when we get there. Because I'd rather do these things really well right now, than be multiplying all this stuff.
So one question for you though: once you have mapped out, priorities and simplified, vision and what should be focused on, are you then able to release it to the team? Are you confident to step back and then let the multipliers come in and maximize that vision? Or is that difficult for you?
I think I'm getting better at it. I think some of it's becoming easier. It probably just depends on the topic. Like right now we've got, if I'm being really real, like the one thing this quarter is working on HR stuff, and I could just let somebody run with it and be like, fine, do it. I just care about that too much, and I want to be involved in it, and I just haven't had the time. So I am the first one to admit that I'm the bottleneck in, creating more structure in our HR.
Well, and I also would say there's 3 of us on that team right now, and we've all of our time has been
Right, fair.
Completely taken away with COVID,
that,
and
for sure.
And we've had to pivot. So
now a lot of social media stuff, I've just been hands off.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I see something later and I'm just like, hey, I'm not sure this is awesome. It's not, you're not in trouble. It's just I just saw this and let's tweak that next time so it looks like this. So yeah. Once there's trust and there's a high level of competency, I'm usually fine.
That's when these collaborations work most effectively. So moving on to the multiplier bio.
Okay.
As a multiplier, you see the simplifier's great idea, and then you envision what you can do and what connections can be made in order to maximize the impact and opportunity of the idea. Your point of view is, hey, great idea. How does it become a great result out in the world? How does this move things forward?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Which that's actually been said about you on our team is Joanna moves things forward.
Yes, everything is about progress. I struggle very much when you're like, we're pausing this, and I'm like, no. Don't say that. Don't say those words. Okay, a few other things about a multiplier. You don't feel a need. Oh, and you guys, you have to comment and tell us what you are. Has anyone commented?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, they need to hear more. You don't feel the need to be involved with the creation of the idea or to ask the simplifier to modify the idea in any way. Just taking the simplifier capability and making it useful to others gives you joy.
Oh, wow. So you don't even need all this clarity around it.
Yes.
That's so helpful because I feel like I have to give you an idea with clarity, and what this just says is the idea is enough. I don't have to create the clarity, and you can go do it.
Yes. Listen, we'll get into this a little bit further down, but I am on the fence with some of this as to whether you can be 100% of a simplifier, 100% multiplier.
Oh, sure.
And I'm not trying to anger Dan Sullivan or anyone watching this.
Right.
But he really believes you are one or the other. There's no blend or mix.
Yeah.
I am huge on vision and clarity. Sometimes I like to come up with a great idea and be innovative. And, I don't know if my role has honestly professionally played out more as a multiplier just because of the professional positions that I have either pursued or been involved in.
Yeah.
And I am really good at taking someone's vision and running with it.
Okay.
Fast forward.
Right.
Putting all the pieces into play. And I don't know if it's because I've always been doing that for someone else, or would I become a simplifier if I was my own entrepreneur?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I was going to ask you, which one do you relate more in your professional career? But I think it's obvious. You probably relate to the multiplier more just because that's the role you've been in. But I notice that even now, you would rather start, the last couple of years, you start things and build them, and then we kind of turn them over. Mm-hmm. And so that is 100% the role of a multiplier. Let's get these things, let's implement them, and then kind of move on. And a lot of times you're even passing them off to people that probably come in and actually could even make them a little bit more simpler in how they get executed. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
No?
It's super interesting. Yeah, maybe. I think I'm honestly a little bit in a discovery phase.
Yeah.
I would say with this particular angle.
Okay, so here's one of them. So let me ask you if this is you. When you try to be the simplifier yourself, it's hard work that leaves you frustrated and fatigued, just like if a simplifier tries to multiply things. Is that generally true?
Probably, I guess. Yeah. I guess I'm just a little bit on the fence.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you probably were expecting more, definite answers, but with this being so new, would you say simplifier is similar to integrator?
It probably is, but I think it's just a different
it's a little bit
realm.
Different.
It's a different spectrum. And I think everybody, I'm sitting here thinking I'm probably 70-30. 70% simplifier, 30% multiplier. Like there is some of that in me.
Yeah.
Of like new ideas, let's grow here, let's expand here, like 100%.
Yeah.
That's in me. It might even be more like 60-40 or 65, whatever, somewhere in that mix. But I err on the side of, it's almost like the way my mind works is I'm going to simplify things, and once I'm done and I feel like I've got a handle on it, then I'll multiply. And then I simplify that until I have a handle on it, and then I'll multiply.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my progression. Right. Multiply, simplify.
Well, and multipliers are very much into effective systems, great with teams, and I mean, obviously, the whole deal is about collaboration, which I think makes the world go round.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with collaborating, working with teams, and all of that.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you've been in roles as a multiplier in the past. I mean,
yes, for sure, I have.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most significant ones years ago was being asked to direct the strategy for a multi-million-dollar building campaign for a church that I worked for. And at first it seemed daunting and overwhelming, the work involved.
Yeah.
But I loved the challenge of putting all the puzzle pieces together. I loved taking a single vision and helping maximize the results and execute, the plan and the strategy. I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
There was an adrenaline rush for a few years.
Yeah. It's probably that same question of like what energizes you, and I think for sure with you it's multiplying things. I think you understand a need for simplicity and a need for some of that, and that's in you, but just like with me, like I love multiplying things. It tends to wear me out if that's all there is. What energizes me is really clean, clear, successful business systems. Like I kind of geek out on clean systems.
You do.
All the boxes, when they all line up, make sense. I geek out on that. So
right. Well, so Dan's theory convincingly claims that the winning formula is 100% simplifier plus 100% multiplier will always overcome any complexity, any issue or opportunity, and bring about the best results.
Yeah.
I think that obviously I displayed a need to I want to dig into this deeper. And what's really cool is, he has more discovery tools that we can put up in the show notes and everything.
Yeah.
Well,
and this, here's the cover of the book, actually. I think Simplifier and Multiplier Collaboration by Dan
If you go to
Sullivan,
strategiccoach.com, you can enter your email and then get his free ebook, which is really fun because he actually puts in, you can do an audio version, there's a cartoon version, video version, and he talks about, there are cartoons in there.
Sweet.
You can't hate on cartoons.
It's like your comic book?
Kind of like a comic book.
Okay.
Anyway, super interesting stuff. I want to dig into it deeper.
So here's my question. Is it just your multiplier or simplifier, or is there anything else?
Or you are a complicator, which is really interesting.
Simplifier, multiplier, or complicator?
As I read more, and I wasn't sure how much time we had for the show, I kind of was scaling this back and just doing entry level. Yeah. But oh man, he really takes it really deeper. If you do not discover who you are and you don't know your lane, so basically that means you don't identify as a multiplier or a simplifier. You are a complicator. That's your label in your name. Yeah. And you are complicating everyone's life around you because you're not in your lane. Yeah. And you don't know where you should be and what you should be doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that totally.
People, you think about partnerships, collaborations on teams or whatever, and when someone is I don't know, kind of dipping feet in both places, not really running with their true self or with their skills. And he says the complicator is somebody who always complains about every problem to everyone else.
No matter if it's simplifying or multiplying, they're complaining about it.
They're complaining.
Yeah.
So if you're complaining, Dan is calling you a complicator. I'm sorry. It's just the hard facts.
Get out, complicators. Figure it out. No, this was great. Honestly, I mean, you and I have worked together for a long time, and obviously we've been married together for even longer. So
we don't even know how long.
Yeah. But this was definitely a conversation that helped me a ton. Just another like piece of self-awareness to go,
Right.
oh yeah, that's why, and that's okay. And honestly, I think at the end of it is it's not about insecurity, it's about validating the other person.
Completely.
Like, yes, that's why we wanted you on the team. That's why you bring so much value. That's why you move things forward. That's why I put things in boxes. That's why, you know, and I'm real secure with my boxes. People can hate and make fun of my boxes. Like, I don't care.
I think it's really good to make sure that you have your opposite around you. And he's saying those will be, in the end, your strongest collaborators.
Yeah.
And not scrutinizing what they're doing, because they're better at what they're doing than you are.
Yeah.
Or I am, you know?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
really trusting. Obviously, there has to be trust there. So I think that it's good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Anything else before we take off?
I don't think so. This has been super fun.
Cool. Guys, check us out. Podcast is up and it's live. So if the live version doesn't suit you, you can check it out on iTunes, on Spotify, on Stitcher. Just search for The Not So Late Show. You'll see those. Also, if you're watching this later after the fact and it's not live, you'll see the links down in the show notes as well. Would love for you to connect with us there. Honestly, these shows, we probably, by the time we're done, we get somewhere between 80 to 110 views on them. Live, but then by the next week they're up to about 300, and then people are starting to download the podcast feed as well. Nickel
and Suede John, he complimented my earrings. He said earring game. Get
some
Michelle
dude is complimenting your earrings.
It's John,
Oh.
your friend.
Okay. That's cool.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
Maybe he knows
They're
his earrings.
Light as a feather. She will love them.
Nickel.
Yeah, my friend Shannon got me on them.
So, guys, thanks so much for being here. Another version, episode 10 of The Not So Late Show.
We made it. 10.
10 episodes.
10 more to go.
Guys, we'll see you next week.